हाय बच्चे, कैसे हैं? हाउ आर यू? टुडे I going to discuss about megasporogenesis. So in last video I explained about formation of megaspore mother cell. So how the megaspore mother cell is produced? The megaspore mother cell is produced from the archisporial cells. Okay, so that I explained in the last video. Like in nucellus, so many cells is there in the hypodermis. One of the hypodermal cell is differentiated into the archisporial cell. Okay, so the archisporial cell, it will produce as the primary sporogenous cell and primary parietal cell. So the primary sporogenous cell acts directly the primary sporogenous cell. It is behaving like a megaspore mother cell. So now see here, suppose if you see in this diagram, okay, so one of the cell, that is primary sporogenous cell. So I will represent here. Suppose if you imagine this is the ovule. So the ovule contains primary sporogenous cell. It contains primary sporogenous cell. So the primary sporogenous cell is present in this location. The primary sporogenous cell, it behave like a megaspore mother. So the primary sporogenous cell behave like a megaspore mother cell. So what is the ploidy of this megaspore mother cell? 2n. So the megaspore mother cell, it undergoes the meiosis. So I am explaining about this is monosporic embryo sac development. Monosporic embryo sac development. Okay, so monosporic embryo means only one megaspore responsible for the formation of the embryo sac. That is called monosporic embryo development. Suppose two megaspores is involved for embryo development. That is called bisporic embryo development. Otherwise, four megaspores is involved for the development of the embryo sac. That is called tetrasporic embryo development. So in this video, I going to discuss monosporic embryo sac development. Okay, so in this, the primary sporogenous cell is produced in the nucellus. That primary sporogenous cell, it behave like a megaspore mother cell. So the ploidy of the megaspore mother cell is 2n condition. Again, see here, the megaspore mother cell present in this location, megaspore mother cell is there. So the megaspore mother cell, it undergoes the meiosis. First meiosis 1. By the process of the meiosis 1, it will produces two cells. Meiosis 1. By the process of the meiosis 1, how many cells is produced? Two cells is produced. So first cell and second cell. So this is the nucleus and this is also nucleus. So it produces two cells. Again, after it undergoes the meiosis 2. By the process of the meiosis 2, how many cells produced? Again, by the process of the meiosis 2, it will produce totally 4 cells. 4 cells produced by the meiosis 2. By the process of the meiosis 2, it produces the 4 cells. 4 haploid cells. Okay, so 4 haploid cells produced. So the 4 haploid cells is called megaspores. So how many megaspores is there? Megaspore 1, megaspore 2, megaspore 3, megaspore 4. So 4 megaspores produced. So in this, one end is called micropylar end, micropylar region, and another region is called chalazal region. There are two kinds of regions. One is micropylar region and another region is called chalazal region. So see here, micropylar region is there. So in micropylar region, this cell and this cell. So which cells is very close to the micropylar region, that 3 cells completely degenerated. So next diagram, see here. So 3 cells present towards the micropylar region. Which 3 cells present near to the micropylar region, that 3 cells completely degenerated. So see here, so 3 cells degenerated, but only one megaspore is there. So which megaspore is present? This megaspore is called functional megaspore. Functional megaspore. Okay, so this megaspore is called functional megaspore, and remaining 3 megaspores degenerated. Remaining 3 megaspores degenerated. Only one megaspore is present in this. See, this megaspore, and this megaspore. These 3 megaspores degenerated. After degeneration of 3 megaspores, only one megaspore is there. That megaspore is called functional megaspore. So 3 megaspores degenerated. After degeneration of the 3 megaspores, only one megaspore is present in this location. Which megaspore is functional and which megaspore is not degenerated? So I will represent with different color. This megaspore degenerated, this one is also degenerated, and this one is also degenerated. But one megaspore is not degenerated. So this area. So this megaspore is not degenerated. So which megaspore is not degenerated? That megaspore is called functional megaspore. So the functional megaspore, it is responsible for the development of the embryo sac. So that I will discuss in next. Okay, so remember that functional megaspore. So functional megaspore is present in which location? Micropylar location or chalazal location? In which location functional megaspore is present? Functional megaspore is present in chalazal location, otherwise micropylar location. At which location functional megaspore is present? Yes, that is the functional megaspore is present in the chalazal region. See here I have written chalazal region and upside is micropylar region. So in micropylar region, which megaspores is present? That 3 megaspores is completely degenerated. But only one megaspore is present in this location. That megaspore is called functional megaspore. Okay, now see here, only one megaspore is present. Okay, so the megaspore is present towards the chalazal end. Okay, so this megaspore contains how many nucleus? One nucleus is present in this megaspore. So this nucleus again, it divided by mitosis. It is divided by the mitosis process. By mitosis process, it divides and it will produce as the 2 nucleus. So nucleus 1 and nucleus 2. 2 nucleus is produced, but cells is not produced. Means karyokinesis is not followed by the cytokinesis. What is the meaning of karyokinesis? Nuclear division. Here how many nucleus is present? 1 nucleus. Here 2 nucleus. So one nucleus is divided into the 2 nucleus. So because of mitosis. So how many mitosis is present in this location? 1 mitosis is present in this location. So again, so 2 nucleus is produced in this location. So the 2 nucleus move towards the opposite poles. Nucleus move towards opposite poles. Okay, so see here, one nucleus move towards the chalazal end and another nucleus move towards the micropylar end. Okay, movement of nucleus towards the opposite ends. After the movement, again the nucleus undergoes the another mitosis. So how many mitotic divisions is required in this location? So the number of mitosis is required. 2 mitosis is required. For this nucleus, 1 mitosis is required. Again for this nucleus, another mitosis required. So totally 2 mitosis is required for the formation of the next cell. So again 2 nucleus is created in the one end. So it leads to the formation of 2 nucleus in this location. Again in this location also 2 nucleus was created. So 2 nucleus created. So totally 4 nucleus. Each end contains 2 nucleus. So this end contains 2 nucleus. Again this end also contains the 2 nucleus. Again another mitosis. Okay, now how many mitotic divisions is required? So 4 nucleus is present. So how many mitosis is required? 4 mitosis is required. So by the 4 mitosis, again this end creating 4 nucleus. Okay, so micropylar end contains 4 nucleus and another 4 nucleus created towards the Chela gel end. So totally how many nucleus produced? After this step, totally 8 nucleus produced by the process of 4 mitosis. So totally for the formation of 8 nucleus, how many mitosis is required? So here 1 mitosis and in this place 2 mitosis. So 1 plus 2, 3 mitosis. Again 3 plus 4. So totally 7 mitosis is required for the formation of the 8 nucleus. So next step, what will happen in next step? So that out of that okay, so totally 3 nucleus is present in the one end. So this 3 nucleus present in the one end. So this 3 nucleus, which 3 nucleus is present in the Chela gel end? That 3 nucleus is converted into the cells. That cells is called antipodal cells. Okay, so here antipodal cells created. This location responsible for the formation of antipodal cells. Antipodal cells. Okay, so out of 4 nucleus, 3 nucleus present in this place and 1 nucleus. Generally how many nucleus present in this diagram? 4 nucleus present in the end. But I represented 3 nucleus. What about remaining nucleus? That remaining nucleus move towards the center. Okay. So again downside. In the micropylar region, how many nucleus is present? 4 nucleus. Out of that, 3 nucleus move towards this micropylar end. Okay, so 2 nucleus out of 3 nucleus, 2 nucleus is converted into the synergids. I will label here. Out of 3 nucleus, 2 nucleus is converted into synergid cells. Synergid cell. Okay. Then 1 nucleus is present, totally 3 nucleus. So 1 nucleus is converted into the egg apparatus, egg cell, not egg apparatus, that is converted into egg cell. So this green color ball like structure is there. So this is egg. It was converted into the egg cell. Okay, so now totally how many nucleus present in this location? 4 nucleus. But I represented 3 nucleus only. Out of 3, 2 nucleus converted into the synergid cell. Synergid, 2 synergid cells. And 1 nucleus is converted into the egg cell. What about remaining nucleus? That remaining nucleus, it move towards the center again. remaining one nucleus is move towards the center. So that one nucleus move towards the center, this nucleus is called polar nuclei. This is converted into the polar nuclei. So what is the ploidy of the polar nuclei? N plus n. Means if question is asked about what is the ploidy of the polar nuclei, means haploid, you can choose n. Then see here, so the polar nuclei plus this cell wall is present. Polar nuclei plus outside this black color cell wall is there. So that black color cell wall plus polar nuclei together is called central cell. Central cell. Polar nuclei plus outer cell wall. Outer cell wall plus polar nuclei together is called central cell. Okay, so polar nuclei is present in the haploid condition. So see here, in the downside, in the micropylar end, the embryo sac micropylar end. So this region contains one apparatus. That apparatus is called filiform apparatus. This is called filiform apparatus. Okay, so this is filiform apparatus. Okay, so this is the embryo sac formation. Now, see, one by one we will discuss antipodal cells. So the antipodal cells, these are called vegetative cells. Vegetative cells. What is the ploidy of the antipodal cells? Antipodal cells is present in the haploid condition. Okay, then central cell. So this is the largest cell in the embryo sac. It contains two separate nuclei. Okay, so that is called polar nuclei. So central cell contains polar nuclei. So this complete area, this is called central cell. This area is called central cell. So the central cell contains two nuclei. This two nuclei is called polar nuclei. So downside three nuclei is present. So this blue color two cells is present, blue color cells. So this blue color cells is called synergid cells. What is the function of the synergids? Synergid. It will take nutrients. It will absorb nutrients from the nucellus. Synergids absorb nutrients from nucellus. That is the first point. The second point, the synergids absorbing the nutrients. Okay, it absorbs nutrients from the nucellus. That is the first point. And again, it will transfer that nutrients to the embryo sac. It will transfer nutrients to embryo sac. Okay, that is the function. Again, not only that, the synergids, if you see the synergid structure, so the synergids produces some chemicals. That is called chemotropic. Chemotropic. The chemical substances produced by the synergids, that chemicals is called chemotropic chemicals. So what is the function of these chemotropic chemicals? So the chemotropic chemicals, it is important for the that is tube. Tube entry. Okay, so the pollen grain germinated and it will produce as the pollen tube. So that pollen tube can enter into the embryo sac with the help of the chemical substances. So the chemical substances produced by the synergids, the chemical substances will guide the pollen tube, and the chemical substances encourage the movement of pollen tube into the embryo sac. So this is the functions of the synergids. So what is the structure of the synergids? So if you see the structure of the synergid, So this synergid contains vacuoles on the nucleus. Vacuoles and nucleus present in the synergids. So what is the location of the vacuole? So I will represent in separate diagram. So this is the synergid cell. Okay, so this is the synergid cell. So this synergid cell contains vacuole. So vacuole is present in the upside. Upside means which end? Vacuole is present towards the chelagel end. Okay, and again it contains nucleus also. Nucleus present towards the, so the synergid nucleus is present towards the micropylar end. Micropylar end. So nucleus of the synergid is present towards the micropylar end, and again the vacuole of the synergid is present towards the chelagel end. So in the chelagel end, see here, in this location, the synergid not having cell wall. In the chelagel end, synergid not have cell wall. The synergid not have cell wall. Synergid not have cell wall towards the this chelagel end. The chelagel end not having a vacuole. Okay, sorry students, see here. So the chelagel end, it contains vacuole. Okay, so in this chelagel end, it not having any okay, so in this location, it not having any cell wall. So cell wall is completely absent in this location. So the blue color area is there. So in this location, there is no cell wall. So cell wall is completely absent in this location. Okay, in which location cell wall is absent? Towards the chelagel end, the synergid not having a cell wall, but towards the micropylar end, it having a cell wall. So this is the structural aspects of the synergid, that is synergid cells. Okay, so the filiform apparatus. So the filiform apparatus, I explained about this filiform apparatus. It is important for the product. It is important for providing nutrients to the embryo sac. At the same time, the filiform apparatus is very important for pollen tube growth into the embryo sac. Then after synergid cell structure, I will explain. So synergids is also present in the haploid condition. So another cell, that is egg cell. Okay, so egg cell is present in haploid condition. Egg cell. So what is the ploidy of the egg cell? Haploid condition. So egg cell have thick cell wall towards this region. So towards the micropylar region, having a thick wall. Thick wall present towards the micropylar region, and in this region it having a thin wall. Because see here, these synergids and egg cell very close to each other. The synergid and egg cell both are connected to each other with the help of the plasmodesmata connection. Okay, so synergids and egg cell both are connected to each other with the help of the plasmodesmata connections. Okay, so this is about egg cell. So the egg cell having a thin cell wall towards the chelagel end and thick cell wall towards the micropylar end. Again, the egg cell also contains nucleus and the vacuole. So vacuole is present towards which side? The egg vacuole. In the diagram, see here, vacuole is present towards the micropylar end. Vacuole of the egg cell present towards the micropylar end. So this is the micropylar end. Vacuole of the egg cell present towards the micropylar end, and again nucleus is present in this location. Okay, so nucleus of the egg cell is present towards the chelagel end. Towards the chelagel end, it contains nucleus. So nucleus is present towards the chelagel end, and the vacuole is present towards the micropylar end. Vacuole present towards the micropylar end. Vacuole of the egg present towards the micropylar end, and nucleus of the egg is present towards the chelagel end. So this is the arrangement of nucleus and the vacuole. So the arrangement of the nucleus and vacuole, this is opposite to the the arrangement of this vacuole and nucleus is opposite to the synergids. Okay, so three cells together is called egg apparatus. Which three cells is called egg apparatus? Which three cells is called egg apparatus? So synergid, two synergids plus egg cell together is called egg apparatus. Egg apparatus. Egg apparatus means egg cell plus two synergids together is called egg apparatus. Okay, so egg apparatus means one egg cell and two synergids together is called egg apparatus. Okay, then we need to discuss about polar nuclei. So the polar nuclei, initially it is present in the center, and the polar nuclei is present in the polar nuclei present in which condition? Haploid condition or diploid condition? Polar nuclei is present in the haploid condition. So now I am going to discuss about polar nuclei. Polar nuclei. Polar nuclei, it is present in haploid in condition. Okay, so two polar nuclei, n plus 1, n. So the polar nuclei just before fertilization, the polar nuclei is converted into the secondary nucleus. Polar nuclei is converted into the secondary nucleus. So secondary nucleus is present in diploid condition. Secondary nucleus or definitive nucleus. Okay, so the polar nuclei is converted into secondary nucleus or definitive nucleus. So polar nuclei initially present in n plus n, means haploid condition. Just before fertilization, the polar nuclei fuse it together and it leads to the formation of secondary nucleus or definitive nucleus. So the secondary or definitive nucleus is present in the diploid condition. Okay, so now see, antipodal cells are vegetative cells, and central cell. Central cell means the outer cell wall of the embryo sac, and the two polar nuclei together is called central cell. So this is the largest cell, and it contains egg cell, again synergid cells. Okay, so synergid and egg cells is present towards the micropylar end. So this is upside, this region is called chelagel end, and downside this region is called micropylar end. Okay, so this is about embryo sac formation. So students, if you have any doubts, please comment your doubts in the comment section. I will give reply to your questions. Okay, then subscribe my channel and share these videos to your friends, and if you like the videos, click the like button. So thank you very much for watching my channel. In next class, I will explain about pollination, different types of the pollination I will explain. So this is embryo sac formation. So I will explain little bit, I will give some extra information also. Monosporic embryo sac, disporic embryo sac and tetrasporic embryo sac. Monosporic embryo sac means that is embryo sac is produced from the single megaspore, is called monosporic embryo sac, and the embryo sac is produced from two megaspores, that is called disporic embryo sac. Otherwise the embryo sac is produced from 4 megaspores, that is called tetrasporic embryo sac. So I will discuss about these types of the embryo sac in next video. So this monosporic embryo development, it is first identified by the Strasburger. This embryo sac first identified by the Strasburger. So in which plant this kind of embryo development is observed? Polygonum plant. In Polygonum plant, this embryo sac development observed by the Strasburger. So Strasburger identified polygonum type of embryo in the Strasburger scientist identified this embryo sac monosporic embryo development in the polygonum plant. So because of this monosporic embryo is also called polygonum type of the embryo. Okay, so I will explain bisporic embryo, tetrasporic embryo and monosporic embryo in the next video. So thank you very much for watching my channel. All the best. We will meet in the next video.